Hi everyone, this is Mr. Satish, Assistant Professor of English, Government First Year College for Women, Davangere. In this video, I discuss a story titled The Portrait of a Lady, written by Khushwant Singh. This story is prescribed to second semester BA, BSc, BCA students of Davangere University. If you would like to know, let me discuss a bit about the writer. Khushwant Singh, a very well-known columnist, writer, he is one of the best writers, and he has produced wonderful classics like Train to Pakistan, Delhi, and such other novels. He has also given non-fiction, writing to society. He is known for beginning one of the important journals like Yochana. He edited Illustrated Weekly and such other ones. He was being awarded with Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan. Now let us look at the title of the story. The portrait. What does it mean? Here, the author tries to give a character sketch of somebody. The portrait of a lady, character sketch of a woman that is none other than his own grandmother. Now let us look at the story part. In this story, we may notice three different phases. First being the childhood part of the author, that is Khushwant Singh. In this part, we see how the author and his grandmother lived together. Initially, he describes how his grandmother looked like. She was rather short, slightly bent, a bit fat, that kind of a old lady. And we see the kind of care that she takes. She wakes him up early in the morning, gets him ready. She would accompany him till the school. She would leave him there, and then she would go to the temple which is attached to the school, where she would pray. She would read scriptures till the school closes. Once the school closes, both of them would come back. While coming back, she would throw bits and pieces of stale chapatis which she carried with her at the dogs. Look at an interesting point here. Is this not teaching the young? What is she doing here? Is this not the value that is supposed to be given to younger ones? She is doing rather a wonderful job. What I wish to suggest here is, or rather say here is, this is how the elder are supposed to inculcate values in the younger ones. Now let us you know, in this first phase, the relationship was too good. She would try to help him while he was reading at home. She took every care of the child, and their bond was too good at this juncture. The second part of the story is now they are supposed, or rather forced, to go to a city where the author's parents settled. They shifted to the city where the author went to an English school. Though they were living in the same room, the kind of attachment that was with them gradually declined. He was going to an English medium school. She would now and then ask him what he was being taught at school. He would say that he learned English, science, and such other things. This woman rather disliked the way in which the pupils are being taught at English medium schools. He also sometimes said that he was being given music lessons. This she rather disliked because in the opinion of the grandmother, music is supposed to be learnt by the downtrodden, harlots, and such other people. Hence, she tried to distance herself. And there is one more reason why she distanced herself with the author is she could not understand the syllabus that is being taught there. Hence, she could not help him at studies. At this juncture, let us understand, is this not the situation in many families where the parents find it too difficult to teach their children at some level? Because the children are being sent to CBSE, ICSE, and such other schools where I believe the syllabus is too heavy, and most of the parents, I hope, find it difficult. Hence, the kind of distance or detachment begins at this juncture. Now, let us move back to the story again. After some time, he went to the university. He pursued his education there. At this juncture, he started, living in his own separate room. Earlier, at least, they were living together in one room. Now, that is being, the room is being different to both of them. There is that kind of, physical, detachment. After some time, to pursue his higher education, he went abroad. At this juncture, the grandmother went to the railway station to see him off. We see that she was emotionless. She just did it casually. The author thought that he was going to come back only after 5 years. Probably he may not see this grandmother. That was his idea. He went to abroad. He finished his studies there. He came back after 5 years. As usual, again, this grandmother went to the railway station to receive him. She was the same old lady that, he saw. Again, you see the kind of emotionless words. She would not speak much, and That went on like this. While she did not find the company of human beings, she kind of developed a sort of attachment with the parrots. At the dawn, she would throw the breadcrumbs at the parrots in a veranda. Regularly, they would visit her, and she would spend rather a bit meaningful time with the parrots. She seemed to be joyous in their company. Let us understand here what is the situation in our houses. Most of the times, the physical needs of the elders are being taken care, whereas their emotional needs are not touched upon by the members of the family. This is something that we normally see in almost all households. Probably this is where the author is trying to suggest us we need to take care of their emotional needs as well. Towards the end of the story, we see one day she was normally continuing with her praying, and she would count her beads at rosary. All of a sudden, one day, rather a bit unusual, she started collecting the women of the neighborhood and started singing. Though the members of the family tried to stop her, she did not. She rather, was joyous at singing with the drums. It so happened that the following day, she fell ill. She was taken to the doctor. The doctor said that there was nothing to worry. But look at the idea here. This woman, though the doctor said there is nothing to worry, this woman knew that her death is very near. It so happened, after a few days, this grandmother died. Everything related to the funeral ceremony was arranged. The body was about to be taken off. The sparrows came. All of them visited her home. They stayed there for a while. Looking at the sparrows, here, not the grandmother, the author's mother, she went to feed them with the breadcrumbs. She threw some of them in the veranda. The parrots did not touch them. Probably they were taking part in the mourning of this grandmother. They stayed there till the body was carried. Then they flew off. What is the author trying to suggest here? Look at the kind of activity that these sparrows have done. Their attending of mourning. It must teach us a lot. Most of the times, we the human beings believe that, or rather declared, that we are the crown of the creature. What about these dogs, sparrows and such other animals and birds? We may have to discuss something about it here. This is where the story part ends. Initially, we see that this woman is a bit religious. She has lost her husband, and she was wearing that spotless white sari. This part may be discussed. Why a woman is supposed to wear white sari or whatever dress once she loses her husband. This may be discussed and debated, and we may have to come to some sort of a conclusion. In this story, we see three different stages where the gradual decline of their relationship. Initial part, their bond was quite good. In the middle, it was okay. Towards the end, there seemed a complete drift as far as their relationship is concerned. She lived more in silence towards the fag end of the story. What is it that she tries to suggest here? What is our view about the English medium school? Again, it is here we may discuss, debate, and come to our own conclusions. It is left to the listeners who can think of these things. The way the sparrows express their sorrow, this is something that really touches us. The theme of the story maybe is like this. It tells us about the innocence, friendship, love, connection, relationship, selflessness, kindness, respect, affection, acceptance. These are some of the themes that you may find in this story. And last but not the least, we need to understand we have to take care of the emotional needs of the elders towards the end of their lives. This is something that we need to understand. We see that the grandmother spent a lot of time rather in the company of birds. In the accompaniment of the birds, probably she found some sort of solace. This is where I would like to end the discussion part of this, the story of Khushwant Singh, that is the portrait of reality. Thank you.